What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle and the world of indie games. My name is Splattercat, happy to be your host today as we continue to check out a game called Nowhere Prophet, which we've covered a couple times here on the channel, but it's just so good and it keeps updating. And so I feel like you guys need to be made aware of it. This is a post-apocalyptic game where you will be leading people across the wasteland in an attempt to take them to some kind of nirvana. The game combines kind of FTL-like colony, not even like, so it's kind of caravan management meets battle card game RPG. It's a pretty sweet game that's got a lot of different ideas plopped down beneath the surface. So without me talking for the vast majority of the episode, let's go ahead and start a new game, yeah? We will go with, we'll go with Burdened, I guess. Travel to the crypt and unlock its mysteries. No fancy bells and whistles, just you, your followers, and the wasteland. Sounds good. We've started out with all of these cards in our deck over here. We've started out with 20 batteries, 60 food, and 80 of whatever the hell those are. We get to choose our leader's name. Let's go with Conrad. That's a pretty good leader name. I think that's a solid leader name. Oh, cool. You can pick different, looks, too. Okay, so we can unlock new people if we want to. Sounds good. I guess we'll be Conrad, then. Let's go ahead and start the game. The world is broken. Only the strong and the ruthless prevail in this land of ruins. Hope is for the naive and the weak. Until I heard its call from the night sky. The falling star spoke of power, forgotten knowledge. It told me where it would land long before it smashed into Soma. Its voice was weak and fragmented, but it carried the promise of a way out, a path to change, and it gave me a purpose. It took me weeks to cross through Soma's wilderness. Then its impact shook the heavens. Hissing with heat, the sand around it had turned to glass. Then it spoke of the crypt for the last time. See what I mean? This game just oozes production value. I had spoken to machines before, but none had been this powerful, this keen. Yet it was dying. In the blue light, it painted a mandala into the dusty air. With this fractal symbol, it showed me glimpses of ancient knowledge from before the crash. Etched in hard light, it told me how to find and open the crypt, the place of legend. Then the fallen star spoke to me. You help power, safety and knowledge in the crypt. You lead them. As the machine died and its light slowly subsided, I could hear words of prayer and mantras all around me. Others must have seen the trail of fire, heard the star's whispers and followed it here too. Their eager faces told me that they had heard the machine speak to me. The prophet! The prophet, they chanted. And so my followers had found me, and together we would find the crypt. Alright, well then. Now here we are. We can inspect our convoy, we can heal our leader, we can heal our followers, but frankly we're in decent shape right now. This presentation right here, this is all of the cards in our deck. They actually go into this little layout down here, and if they're wounded, that carries over in between battles. So think of this as a game of Hearthstone if your cards got wounded permanently, basically. It's a strategy game, too. It's not entirely a card game, and it's not entirely a strategy game. You'll see what I mean once we get into the combat. Alright, so we gotta pick a location where we want to go. There's a battle over here. There's some kind of trading post right there. There's a temple on this side where we can heal and go to market. There are a couple of nodes that don't have anything denoted on top of them, so we're not going to worry about that too much. So really, we can take a battle, and that will allow us access to markets, or we can take kind of an easier path over this way. What is that right there, a crossroads? Okay. We can take an easier path. What is this thing, an abandoned refinery? I kind of want to know why that's all by itself over in the corner. Let's go find out. We were just setting up camp when a small group of monks approached our perimeter with heavily burdened pack animals and an escort of armed guards. The ornamentation on their robes was fashioned after the patterns found in rusters and other intelligent machines. They were clearly followers of that machine. Curious to meet you, a smiling elderly machinist said. Can we sit with you? Maybe we have something to share or trade. Okay. We allowed them into our camp, and as they sat down, we made them welcome and shared our humble meal with them. We chatted at length, sharing stories of the crash and learning from one another. After everyone had eaten and the conversation wound down, the priestess spoke again softly. Let us give you something in exchange for the food that you served us. A few batteries, maybe? So there you go. We got +2 with scholars and +3 with altruists. Except the batteries. The old monk sent one of her guards to fetch the batteries. The mute armored giant returned with a large crate disguised as a water container. The monk muttered a brief prayer of thanks to the machine and removed a handful of batteries for us. Okay. We took the batteries with a respectful nod. Oh, we received 16 of them. Nice. That's a good grip. Hidden in the late afternoon shade, we spotted the stronghold that completely blocked the path forward. As we inched closer, we saw what the fortress held. A beating heart of chained rusters inside an iron cage, with their every movement being carefully observed by cultists, who interpreted the meaning of every spasm. Okay, so we can overload the rusters, or we can fight the cultists. Hack the rusters and make them attack the cultists. Yeah. I closed my eyes and concentrated. The rusters were not particularly open to receiving any kind of instruction, but it didn't matter. They just needed to act as a distraction. I felt a sharp explosion of pain from my temple and could hear the rusters clanging against their cage. For a moment, the fortress was in shock, and that moment was all that we needed to get the upper hand. Alright, so we can begin our battle now. We will go first. It did indeed give us the upper hand. When fighting, your followers' positions are critical. Only the first unblocked unit in each row can attack and be attacked. It is in the front line position and marked with 3 spikes. Units that you want to protect should be in the back, while those you want to do damage should be in the front line. Make clever use of obstacles that are already present. Okay. So we've started out with a couple of dudes over here. We've got a battlefield healer. I think we can re-roll this too. Like, I think we can pick new stuff. I like the sapper, but I want to see if I can get something better on my hand. We got a warrior monk. That's not bad. He's got taunt. Becomes the exclusive target for enemy attacks as long as it is in a frontline position. Okay. Heal all nearby followers by 3. Alright. We'll put the bandit sapper in first, since that's going to deal 2 damage to their leader. There you go. Perfect. It's exactly what I was going for. We don't have any more energy to play with, so we're going to skip our turn and move on. We've got a scout that's been deployed to the battlefield with 2 HP. Taking a little bit of damage. They actually got a double play off right there, so they have seized the initiative as far as board control goes. We have a wanderer over here. Or we can play the warrior monk. Really kind of a tough decision. I'm going to put the warrior monk in. And then with her, I would very much like to finish him off. Do I take damage back? I don't know if I take damage back. I'm curious about that. Let's find out. We do take damage back. Alright, so there is a reflective damage property that I couldn't remember right there. Unfortunately, we've already lost a follower. Feels bad, but that's the way life goes sometimes. Alright, I'm gonna play the healer here. We've got 3 damage ready to go out. We've got a little bit... Oh, I did have energy I could still play. Yeah. Let's deal a damage over here. We'll deal a damage right there. And if I could just go straight for their leader, like, I think we can end this right now. So, like, why worry about it? We got a defensive drone. We lost 1 card, unfortunately. With the cultists routed, the rusters were quiet. Sukumar looked closely at the cage and prodded one of the rusters. Looks like they're done. We smashed through the lock and freed a ruster that had collapsed on the cage floor. The rusters had simply taken too much damage when they were overloaded. There's not really any way we can fix that. Scrap and spare parts it is. Okay. So as you can see, there's been a change in our UI right here. We have guys that are actually actively wounded. What does this defense drone do? So it gives us stim shot. It dismantles into stim shot. We also have scrap healing. When you scrap a card, a random friendly follower will heal a damage. Okay. Not like hugely. I may actually just sell this, I think. I kind of want to dismantle it, in all honesty. Like, I think I would rather have the stim shot, and that's been added to our list of leader decks over here. So I probably actually misplayed that first turn. I could have played much more aggressively and saved my character, but I didn't realize, I thought the cards on the right were his for whatever reason, because I'm dumb like that. All right, we're good now. We're solid. As you can see, we have wounded characters in our deck right now. This Bandit Sapper right here only has 1 HP, unfortunately, now that she's wounded. And the Warrior Monk has also... Oh, he's leveled up. Nice. So he got a little bit of extra attack. Sweet. Sounds good to me. Is he still wounded? I thought we healed him up to full. Maybe not. I don't know. We played the medic on him, so I thought that maybe he took damage when he attacked the leader. That's possible. We can inspect our convoy from right here. There's no safe camp on this spot. But we do have valuable metals that we can look at, and if we think that's super awesome, we can travel over to here. Let's get on the road again. On the road again. Our journey was abruptly halted by the yelled warnings of outriders. We reached for our weapons, and suddenly the enemy was upon us. That's okay, we can deal with these guys. I'm not too worried about them, alright, Chief? These guys are about to get buried. We've got a raider out first. This more or less assures our first play. Yeah. I don't think that's too bad of a hand, because we've got a single play this turn, and then we've got a double play next turn, so, like... I feel like we're in a good spot. We're not wasting any time or doing anything stupid. So we have a devoted guard. So apparently they have taunt. I'm aware of what taunt does. It's basically the same thing as what taunt does in like every other game. Yikes. Pretty strong play right there. Pretty strong play. Alright, well we've got a little bit of energy to play around with. Really sort of depends what we want to do with that energy. I'll put a scout in. I'll put in the initiate. Right here, we're going to go... Oh, that's right. I have to attack him, huh? Okay. There's a good chance we're going to lose somebody right here. So, like, I can either suicide bomb this guy with this guy. I'm going to have to, I think. We're going to take some damage right there, but that's the way life goes. I'm not trying to shred through cards like this, but they keep playing some pretty strong... Oh, man. How did he have 5 energy? Apparently it goes up every single turn. Maybe it's every round. I don't know. We can play the Enforcer right now. I kind of feel like eliminating their big scary guy is the best play for the moment. I can play a Hermit who replaces himself in my hand, which doesn't seem too bad. Let me bolster you. And then we're just going to throw some attacks across the board and see if we can get anything across. I don't want to play Static Charge because I think that's going to zap all of my guys, and I'm not really in the market for electrotherapy right now. What is that, a Spike Trap? When an enemy follower enters battle, they take 2 damage, so I got to get rid of that early. Don't really have much of an option there. Okay. Fury, deal 2 damage to all neighboring tiles. Yikes. Okay. I kind of feel like we should just finish this thing. Like, we've got the play right there, so why extend this out any further than it needs to be, you know? We got bread right there. That's 17 food that's been added to the stockpile. I'm a big bread fan. French bread, sourdough, rye. I don't really care. I like all bread. I think bread is one of the most masterful creations that humanity's ever come across. We've got some machine parts, too, which are going to be good for vendoring. The dead bodies of our enemies litter the area. Okay, we got another battle coming up over here. Let's do it. It's a Union fist camp. This may not go well. So we took the path through the murky swamp. Our scouts noticed a small path leading to a drowned valley. From our high ground, we could see a large broken machine and rows of floating metal frames with plants growing out of them. Nanda frowned. This doesn't seem right. All the plants look fine. Wouldn't they have tracked small animals by now? The valley itself didn't seem too deep, although it's impossible to know with the brown water and vegetation covering up most of it. Certainly wouldn't be too difficult to get the food. Maybe a few minutes of swimming? As we began to wade in, our steps broke the water into a series of ripples. All at once, we saw ripples heading back towards us. We ran away as a large beast surfaced and snapped, catching Sundana and wounding them. We managed to pull ourselves back in time before anyone else was hurt, but the beast surged forward and, with the signature roar, alerted all the other predators to our location. Oh, weak, dude. I made a bad decision. I made a bad decision. Alright, so what's up with this right here? An ammo cache. We also have a food cache. Attacker's convoy gains food. Okay. I'm gonna put the Crashjacker in right there. That'll give him the plus a bunch to his damage. We've also got an acid plant. Deal 2 damage to all targets in this column. When I destroy it, I feel like that's an important thing. Is like when I destroy it. Yeah. I feel like they're getting much better plays than I am. Man. They like played the whole world against us. Good God. He's not very good. Static charge isn't going to solve a lot of our... Well, it will actually solve some of our problems. Alright. It solved a few of our problems. It wasn't a perfect play, but it did something. Obviously, I'm going to reinforce. Got another card right there. Oh, nice, dude. That actually worked out pretty well. I'm okay with it. This guy right here is going to be a problem. He's probably going to wipe my Crashjacker, unfortunately. Oh, he broke the ammo pot. Oh, never mind. I got excited and thought the AI made a dumb mistake. Now I'm aware of the fact that the AI definitely did not make a dumb mistake. The AI knew exactly what it was doing. Yikes. Alright, you move up. Let's put in... We have 5 energy to play around with. Let's get rid of the taunting guy. It's always a temptation to get greedy with games like this. Like, you've got like all this food laying around, and I'm a glutton. Like, I love food, so that makes this more challenging than it needs to be. Oh, I don't have enough energy. Okay. Well, then maybe... We have 4 energy left. I'll play the Scout. I'll play the Hermit. That at least gets us into play. I've got enough energy for a bolster. So let's bolster her so she's not one-shottable. And then we'll kind of see what happens on the next turn. Things are going to get worse before they get better, so... AI's actually playing pretty smart. Oh, dude, you asshole. How could you? You can pull a boulder? What is that nonsense? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to put in the invader over here. I'm going to suggest we start putting some damage out on that boss right there. Like, we need this guy to go. This dude needs to not exist. We are getting whittled down at the moment, though. The AI is playing really well right now. Like, they've already made all those plays and have not spent any energy. Although it seems like maybe we've got the AI's hand tapped out. Knock that out. Knock him out. Knock him out. All nice and done, man. Rough one. Rough one. We are taking losses. We got some food and some plant fibers. Sounds okay to me. After we had driven the animals back, we looked around the valley and saw that most of the crop had sadly been ruined in the fight. We took what little was left and continued our way forwards. Alright, well, you know. What seemed like a peaceful, quiet evening was interrupted by shouts and gunfire coming from the direction of our first wagon. We grabbed our weapons and prepared to confront the attackers. Okay, let's go for it. Ew, our front line is taken up by a tree. Then again, so is his front line. Yeah, that's an okay hand. I can live with that. That's good. There's something to whittle down a little bit of the armor and whatnot they got laying around. Okay, couple of cutthroats. This guy's free? Really? I like free. Free is the best. Let's go ahead and give this guy a little bit more attack and HP. I'm going to draw a convoy card. Yeah, it was kind of a desperate play. A little bit of bleed over damage right there. I'm alright with it, though. If we can just keep momentum before these guys start stacking. Oh, man. So we can get batteries out of that right there. Batteries are the de facto money in this game. So you can use that to trade for new cards, new items, all that kind of fun stuff. I don't want to nuke. I got static discharge, but I don't want to nuke my own hand. Yikes. That's a bummer. Oh, they're going all out on me. Okay. Fine with that. Let's finish this thing. We got minerals. We got water. We got a war horn. I'll have to check that out. The dead bodies of our enemies litter the area. We managed to push our way through. Kind of curious what's up with that abandoned refinery and what I've left behind in order to get there. We have enough food, though, so I'm not that terrified. Let's manage over here. We've got a new item. So we got this war horn. It will dismantle. It gives us beast call. It'll spawn a beast. Hell yeah. I like that. Yup, I like that a lot. Can I equip it? Yeah, there we go. Equip that thing. War horn. So now I apparently have a new ability, I guess. So it'll give us beast call. It costs 1 energy. I don't see beast call added to the list over here, but maybe that's just an ability that I have. I don't know. We'll have to find out. We also leveled up, so that's pretty sweet. Level up to increase your maximum health and learn a new card. Let's do it. Alright, we can turn over a card. So deal 2 damage to all enemy followers for every refreshed follower on your side. Exhaust all your followers. Pfft, don't like it. All your followers take 1 damage and gain +2. Nah. Guess I'll just take the quick shot. I don't really like any of those. Like, all of those come with significant downsides to go with their upsides, and I'm not down with downsides, alright? I'm not feeling that. Well, we wanted to go up for this refinery and figure out why it's all by its lonesome. The last rays of the setting sun, we arrived at a circle of old wagons that were surrounded by piles of bottles and empty plastic barrels. Smoke was rising from one of the wagons customized to add an array of chimneys. A seedy-looking old man with a bottle in his hand greeted us with a toothless smile, offering us homebrew spirits. Sure, why not? We decided to lift the mood in the caravan by purchasing some of the bootleg alcohol. For a handful of batteries, we got a crate of bottles filled with milky, pungent liquor. When we made camp the next day, we passed around the bottles. The milky substance had a strong taste, but was potent enough to create a relaxed atmosphere. We complimented the old man on his creation and drank through half the crate in an evening full of drinking, laughter, and much-needed joy. Okay. What does attack alcohol do? Luxury items can be shared with the convoy to restore hope and gain a status effect, so we got unstable charge. At the start of combat, add an improvised card to your leader hand. Alright. Sounds good. Moving on over. The sun had barely risen above the horizon when a small group of people came stumbling down the path through the gray morning mist. It was a man and various family members dressed in rags and pulling their meager belongings in a handcart. Let's watch them. We waved at the man, signaling them to come closer and join us. "I'm Mar," he said and smiled weakly. His family looked famished, staring at us with blank expressions. They were the sole survivors of a nearby farm that was attacked by raiders. So I had 2 more survivors, some altruists. Nice, that'll help us out with skill checks. Sweet. Let's go see what's up with this refinery. These regions of Soma were notoriously dangerous, so we kept everyone close and our weapons closer. Suddenly we saw large structures appear in the gloomy mist ahead of us. It was an old industrial facility consisting of abandoned warehouses and gigantic storage tanks. The complex was heavily decayed, but perhaps the dangers of these areas had kept looters away and we could still find something useful inside. Alright. We could share this for 12 hope. I think when our hope gets down to minimum, we just, like, die or something. I'm not exactly sure. But it's probably not good for us. There's a warehouse. We can explore it. Yeah, let's do it. We moved into the large central concrete building, a sturdy structure that seemed to be in better shape than the rest of the buildings. Its insides were a jumbled mess of rotting crates, broken machinery, and rusting metal. It's likely that the remains were picked through before us. Alright, we sorted through the chaos, but it's too much for a few of us searching. We eventually abandoned our attempts and headed back outside. We were going to leave the chaotic mess in the hall when we heard a commotion in the rear. A group of bandits had apparently come in that way and considered us poor company. The dim hall lit up with flashes as we started firing at one another. More battles. We're getting a lot of fights today. Like a lot of fights. Not bad for a first turn. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so reduce the cost of target card in your hand by 1. Nice, dude. Okay. Where's our leader ability at? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, do that. Actually, maybe we can make a better play next turn. So right now we can put 2 on the field. Next turn, if we play this right, we can run him and also put a beast on the field, and then we can just make a run at this guy like super hard. Okay. I don't know what I want to do right now. We have to get rid of this turd. Like, somehow they always have a taunt available on their first turn. It's mind-boggling, but they always do. Yeah, let's maintain board advantage. Knock out the taunt real fast. And I think we're pretty much golden. I just need to keep some of these guys up. And if we can keep them up, I think we've got the damage to just finish this now. There we go. We lost one guy, but frankly, we haven't been able to make it through a whole lot of combats without losing a guy. We got some water and we got some fabrics. Nice. Last of the bandits had paid the ultimate price for their foolish aggression. Death. Search the silo. The integrity of the silo tower is dubious. The concrete had been blasted off in many places, and a rickety set of stairs led up the outside to an improvised walkway. Someone had crudely painted symbols indicating danger onto the first few steps, and many of the stone stairs were missing, though there were crude wooden replacements. Why not? All of a sudden, a large section fell. Jai Krishna is dead. No! Such is life. Oh, there's a path back here. Nice. Okay, well, we're out of time for right now, but this game is nowhere profit. I like it a lot. It's a really good game, and you should absolutely think about checking it out. If you're in the market for card games, this one will keep you busy, for sure. There'll be a lot of winning, losing, and dying in this one. And, like, it's a game that will test your capabilities if you're a card player. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. If you want to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below. How you doing? Take care, everybody. I'll have more games that are worthwhile from the pile tomorrow. I promise you that.